What's going on, guys? My name is Aaron and welcome back to the channel. And today is the first time officially driving my car. Something like over 2 months now. I tore my Achilles. Can't really see that, but I tore my Achilles and had to have surgery, full rupture. And I'll tell a little bit more about how that happened, but this is the first time I'm actually driving my car. The car was down, I was down. It's just been sitting here at work for this whole time. So let's hop in. Let's do a cold start. Not sure who bent my license plate. That's pretty cool. Definitely wasn't me. Thought it was dead just for like a split second. Nothing happened. Yeah, I'm definitely not gonna be driving with this boot. But once I get in, I can pop it off, throw it in the floor in the passenger seat. Let's get this cold start. Ugh. It even smells like my filth. Brake. Ugh. It's weird not being self-sufficient. I'm used to being able to be pretty independent, so. It's humid in here. It's muggy. It's been parked here. It rained a ton yesterday, so it's just been sitting here and all the mugginess. I guess I could use this time to actually say what happened. So, I was on the way to work. Again, it was like the 23rd of June. 23rd, 26th, something like that. I was on the way to work, just like I was every other day. And I decided to stop at Taco Bell, which is only like, I don't know, 4 miles from work. So basically the end of my trip. And I was gonna just grab something on the way. I pull into the shopping center where the Taco Bell is, and literally as I get into the parking area, I go to pull the car out of 6th or whatever I was in, because I was driving on the highway, and I go to get the car out of gear, push the clutch down, and the clutch pedal does not come back up. I managed to, push the pedal down, go from 6th to 3rd, and then I went to let the clutch back off to get into 3rd gear, and nothing happened. The pedal was on the ground. And so I just kind of freaked out. I was like, what the hell? This is weird. And I kind of rolled to a stop in the middle of this entrance to the plaza and can't get the clutch pedal to come back up. I'm putting my foot underneath it, trying to lift it, and it'll come up, and then it'll fall right back down. It's got zero slack at all. It's just limp. So I try for a couple of minutes. I'm starting to get really hot and frustrated because I'm in the way, kind of. Like, they can go around, but people are, they're stacking up behind me. They're hitting me with their high beams. A couple of them honk at me, whatever. People are assholes. Obviously, I'm just parked here for fun. So starting to get overheated and pissed off. And this goes on for 20 minutes. But at the very back of the plaza is a Walmart Supercenter. So I was like, all right, if I can just get it rolling, I can get, pop the hood, check out what's going on. Maybe there's just low fluid, and I can just go inside, grab some basic fluid to top off on, get the clutch working again, and we'll be good. And so I was like, all right, whatever. So I waited almost 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes is what I waited, and people were piling up, honking. One almost took my mirror off because he got so damn close. Nobody offered to stop and help. I've got my hazards on or whatever. Aside from me literally standing out of the car and flagging somebody down, nobody wanted anything to do with me. So I roll it around in the garage all the time when I'm working on it. So I was like, whatever, I'll get out, give it a little push, get it started, and it'll be fine. Once it gets rolling, I can steer it into a parking spot, get it out of the way. I only got to go 15 feet, not far at all. Again, I roll it around in the garage all the time. Oh, I didn't pull it far enough. Instead of starting it and driving it, just get out, push against the A pillar here, get it rolling a little bit, hit the brake. Nothing crazy. Looked flat enough. It wasn't. I get out. E-brake is weird on this car. There's no physical e-brake, so I have to hold the physical brake, release the e-brake, switch, and then let go of the brake pedal and get out, because it won't disengage if there's no brake pedal. It's kind of annoying. I liked having a physical e-brake you could rip. So I do that, stand out of the car real quick, And as I go to lean up against the car, I feel the car actually rolling the opposite direction. It's rolling backwards. And I was like, oh shit. And just out of instinct, I pushed forward to try to get the car rolling forward like I intended. Just out of instinct, again, just kind of stop the rolling, get it going where I was trying to get it. And it didn't want to, and I pushed just a little too hard off of my back foot, which happened to be my right. And I felt and heard a, like a pop, pop your elbow, pop your wrist, but it was loud. And because the car was rolling backwards that very same moment, I didn't really register what happened. I was like, oh shit, maybe I dislocated my ankle or something. But I had to get it stopped. So I hopped back in really quick, and the same foot, which is my gas brake foot, I mashed down on the pedal so I can get it stopped, hit the e-brake switch. As I'm coming to realization, okay, the car is stopped, I can let off the brake. As I'm letting off the brake, that's when I feel my foot completely loose. Like my muscles don't have any control over my foot. It just kind of goes as I let it off the brake. And then that's when it starts hurting. My entire foot goes numb, like tingles, like little needles in there. And pain is shooting up the back of my leg up to like my butt cheek, basically. And I immediately knew as soon as I felt it. I've never had a major injury before, but as soon as I felt that, I was like, oh my God, I just tore my Achilles. I out of instinct, again, I reached down for my ankle to grab it because it's in pain, and I can feel my ankle bone all the way around. Like, if you grab the back of your foot and you can feel the tendon back there, no bone, it's just that tendon and then the bone in the front. I could reach the whole bone all the way around. The tendon did not exist. Sorry if this is TMI, by the way. This is all as I'm experiencing it. This is exactly what I'm realizing. So I get pissed and I start punching the steering wheel and get a little bit of the anger out of my system. Call my boss, tell her I'm not gonna be able to come into work. And then I call my wife and I tell her I can't drive, I'm stranded, and I need to go to the ER. So I sit in my car, stranded there. I wait for a coworker. He grabs some help, and my coworker, because they're super close, comes and helps me roll the car, into a parking spot at the Walmart. And then my wife comes and gets me. We go to the ER. Again, I had the full rupture Achilles. It separated from the top, not the bottom. So the top of the Achilles separated from the muscle, whatever that muscle is. And they tell me I'm gonna need surgery, basically 100%, which I did. But we go to the ER, we get it casted, they get me on some crutches, we go and eat, and then we come back to the car. We call the shop that I took the Golf R to one time. We call them because they actually relocated conveniently only like 2 miles from where this all happened, and down the same road that my work is on. So it that worked out perfectly. Call them. They have their own tow truck, so they send their own guy out to get my car and take it to the shop free of charge. They because I get the work done through them, they don't charge for the towing. Or if they did, they looped it in. I don't know. I didn't notice it. Turns out the master slave cylinder inside the transmission, because Toyota puts it inside the transmission for some reason, had gone bad and filled the transmission with all of the fluid. Internally, everything was completely soaked in oil. Also, that glare on my glasses is terrible. I have to do like this. Everything was soaked, covered in oil. They had to drop the whole transmission to change out the cylinder. They offered to do my clutch because it was a little bit worn. They said it's looking a little, aged. Unfortunately, this was already $2,600 for them to change everything out. New fluid, oil change, because I needed it anyway. Cleaning everything with brake cleaner so they could actually put it back together and it would hold. All that, dude. They said when they got it up on the lift, before they even took anything apart, it was dripping from the transmission because of how full of oil it was. Yeah, lots of money for that, lots of money for my foot. My wife's been driving me to and from work, and this is the first day I'm gonna try driving it myself. So, little story time is over. I feel like it was somewhat symbolic that kind of my own clutch went out on my body, same time as the car, so super annoying. It's been a great couple of months, guys. It's been so awesome. I'm kind of working my wife's work schedule right now just because that's the only time she can bring me to work and pick me up is on her way in and her way out. And she's definitely a trooper for it. And luckily my work is super cool. They've been working with me on it too, so yeah, I couldn't afford any of this. So I had to take out another loan because it's rough out here. Didn't literally have any of this on hand to help. I mean, I don't have a savings. It's so damn expensive. So yeah, that's my couple of months. That's why I haven't uploaded anything. Let's try driving it. This boot kind of makes me want to get a bike though for some reason. It reminds me of like a motorcycle boot. Just the way it looks. It's got these sick ass air suspension little bubble here, so I can fill up both sides of the heel with air. That's how you control which side. It's like left, right, and then if you have one of those selected and you hit this button, it deflates. So it's pretty sick. And luckily I don't have the Golf R. This car has some helpful features. Going to use the brake hold button. And I'm also going to use the intelligent manual, little tiny light, the IMT, so it'll automatically rev match up and down gears. That way I don't have to use the gas pedal as much. But yeah, let's, I guess, see how this goes. All right, well, it's working. I'm doing the thing. My foot definitely feels a little sore because it's the first time having it out of the boot in a couple of days. But yeah, I mean, overall, it's going just fine. I'm taking the slowest route that I have to get home. And again, it's Labor Day, so it's already pretty slow out, which is really nice and uncommon for Texas. But it's the slowest route I can find to get home, so we're just cruising. I call it the train tracks because there's literally train tracks over there to my right. And it just follows the tracks for a few miles and then puts you out onto a little farm road. So pretty chill. And yeah, we're doing the thing, guys. Hell yeah, it feels actually so good to be independent again. Oh my god, I've always had to be independent. Like, just as long as I can remember as a kid, I've always had to be independent. So it feels good to finally be that way again. It felt very unnatural to need so much help. I'm very appreciative, and I couldn't have done it without my wife and, you know, all the driving she was doing for me. But it feels good to be able to be self-sufficient again.